Good morning. Hey now. Happy Thursday. Yes, happy Thursday. I'm into that now because I didn't like the happy before, but I see why it's popular. Today, we're gonna do another LA class because they're in high demand. But how fun was Chuck Berry yesterday? Really iconic rock and roll, the pioneer of rock and roll. And then we saw the influence from Louis Jordan with the boogie woogie, in the 40s though, 10 years before. Really cool to see the evolution of who is influenced by who and all this stuff. So hope you enjoyed that. And today we're going to talk about a really important building and kind of the whole system of the library. And so come on, you want to come and enjoy a little field trip? Well, let's come on. Let's go. Let's go to the town you love, I love, Lloyd loves, I think John loves. And, let's take a look at the Los Angeles Central Public Library. So library, not library, right? Because sometimes I hear that, and I probably said that too back in the day. What's the oldest library? Well, about 800 years ago. But I was thinking about that. There had to have been earlier than that too. But in modern day Iraq holds probably 7th century BC. Library of Ashurbanipal. You know that library. But today is the Los Angeles Public Library. I mean, the building's so great, as you saw the opening. This is the third largest central library in the nation, in our country. And how many books do you think it has? At least more than 10, right? We've got 2.8 million books, 5,000 magazine subscriptions, 3 million photographs. Some of these things came from Charles Lummis, because we did a class on Lummis. Remember the guy that walked across the country and built the house for himself and all the other writers and artists around him, in the early 20th century. And I mean, I want to talk about the building, of course, but then I was also thinking, why are libraries really important? I mean, why are we even talking about that? But of course, so important, right? Because of course, before the internet, where would you go for information? So they're houses of learning. That's what they are. Information, history, and the freedom of information and the freedom of what we're entitled to, which is so important. It's so cool that cities, and a city like LA needed to develop it, because by the 20th century, as we're going to see, the population was booming. So it was very, very important to provide knowledge for people and communities, because without knowledge, you just have propaganda, censorship, all these things that we don't like, right? I mean, we like liberal, free-thinking ideas. That's what's part of these classes are about and all that stuff. So that we'll get into more library kind of talk, but it's to help the public be informed. We need to be informed about things. We're always growing and thinking about things. So it's informing, libraries inform people of their surroundings, their facts, the history, all these things, rather than it just being fiction, The building, I mean, the beautiful building is at 650 5th Street, so West 5th Street. 1926 is when it starts, but really in 1872 is when LA creates the library, because we know LA is, California is like 1850s. LA is starting there, but it's really not booming until the 20th century. But we talked about so much early LA history. And well, of course, we'll need our timeline. I resubscribed for the free trial, so I mean, let's get that in here. 1926 is when the Central Libraries, which we're talking about. Architect is Bertram Goodhue. He died right before it was finished, but Gothic revival, right? There's Art Deco on here too. Spanish colonial. So when LA started the library, 1872. It just was information, different buildings in downtown. It didn't have a center. It went through, it was in department stores. It was in different places downtown scattered. So we needed a building. We built a building. So 1926 it opens, and our timeline is the Roaring Twenties, right? That's what they call it. There's prohibitions going on. This is after the Hollywood sign, and after, which was in Hollywood, obviously, and after the Biltmore, which was a huge hotel downtown LA. After that, but before City Hall is officially built in the building that we love today, before Bullock's Wilshire, which represented westward movement, even though that's considered like Koreatown now, everything was happening downtown. And then finally people started venturing into Hollywood, into Culver City, and then finally, the Beverly Hills Hotel was out there by itself in 1912. But they really needed it because, the population in LA, so it's about 100,000 people around the turn of the century. But then by the 20s, 1.2 million people are in LA. So we need growth and expansion, and we need a library. So construction began in 1924, and the newer Tom Bradley wing was, that's east of the Goodhue initial building, and that opened in the 90s. Inside, it's gorgeous, walls with murals, and all these murals reflect California history. Very romantic, how it's all laid out of all of our history. The beautiful Tom Bradley, it's got an atrium and escalators going down, and then there's these gorgeous chandeliers, sculptural chandeliers by Thurman Statham. And chandeliers are supposed to represent nature and science and the arts. It's so cool when you think that information's there for us, and that it's free, and that you can just go in and find these things. We'll talk about the internet in a little bit, but it's really exciting when you see, and it's cool how beautiful the city allows it to be. Not just books in this building, but books in this beautiful building. 1986, a fire happened. Nobody knows, no arsonist was ever found, but it was arson. Terrible. But it got locals to reinvest in their library, and it made them realize how important the library was. So after these fires, it was a horrible thing, but it ended up saving the library. Actually, some historians and librarians say people rallied around to help it because it was a terrible, destructive moment in LA history. So 1986 is two fires within a few months of each other. Really sad, because when you decimate information, when you don't know history, then you have no context and nothing. And librarians are really cool. Obviously the internet's amazing opportunity, and Google is. But libraries are good because librarians, they can help you sort what's real news and what's not fake news. People that have understand documents and history and things that have to be published and things that are serious, articles, scholarly articles in journals, that's on the internet, but there's, that's only half the internet. Most of the internet is advertising, but then there's clickbait and there's all these things distractions all the time. So librarians are very important in that sense. They're not trying to sell you anything, they're trying to just sell you, information. So the LA Public Library was so important when it arrived and had its permanent home in downtown LA. Not just a building, but a building that symbolized knowledge for the people, knowledge for us. What a beautiful thing. That's what we do in this class. We try to share knowledge with each other. And to me, it's so exciting. And it's such a great building. We can go down there for free and walk around, and it's something beautiful that our city has provided for us, and in a beautiful building. So what could be better than that? So hope you enjoyed the LA Public Library. I used to go down there a lot as a kid and have fond memories of it, but it's just gorgeous to be downtown. So, all right, tomorrow film scoring results for Star Wars, right? Can't wait to show you that. You did great work on that, and have a great rest of the day, and see you tomorrow. Bye.